This is the brand new Fitbit Charge 6, and honestly, it might just be my most recommended wearable of the year. Let me tell you why. See, most people I talk to, they're not looking for some bulky $350 smartwatch that needs charging every single night. They want something low profile, with solid battery life, reasonably priced, and packed with fitness and health tracking features. Toss in notifications and maybe a few smart features, and boom, that's the sweet spot. Now, if you think through your options with that kind of checklist, Wear OS watches are mostly out. The battery life just doesn't cut it. Then, you've got the sportier options like Garmin, which are fantastic, but also expensive and geared more toward athletes. So for most casual users, the third lane, fitness bands, is the real winner. And in that space, I'm almost certain the Fitbit Charge 6 is going to dominate in the US this year. Let's break it down. The Charge 6 only comes in one size, but you do get 3 color options: black, silver, which is the one I bought for some reason, and a light champagne gold. The bands are quick release, so swapping them out is super easy. Just push a little button on the back and slide them off. The design's pretty minimal. On the front, there's a color touchscreen. On the side, there's a raised spot that looks like a button. It's not. It's a pressure-sensitive button, which is necessary for features like ECG. And despite the compact form factor, this thing tracks a lot. You've got heart rate, blood oxygen, built-in GPS, and now that Google owns Fitbit, we're seeing integrations like Google Maps and Google Wallet, which is a big upgrade over the old Fitbit Pay system. Music controls are here too, but only if you use YouTube Music. More on that in a bit. Battery life is claimed at 7 days, but realistically, if you're tracking workouts and sleep consistently, expect more like 4 to 5 days. Still not bad. Once-a-week charging is manageable, even though Fitbit has always leaned toward fitness tracking. The Charge 6 has started blurring the line between fitness band and smartwatch. Let me show you the interface real quick. To wake it up, just pinch the sides. A double pinch opens Google Wallet, so you can tap to pay without your phone nearby, which is actually super handy. Swiping through, you'll see tiles for notifications, workouts. You've got 40 to pick from, alarms, timers, and some wellness tools like Smart Wake. That feature wakes you up at an ideal point in your sleep cycle, which is surprisingly effective. There's also an EDA scan for stress, something I rarely use, and an FDA-approved ECG app. Maps are new to Fitbit and a really nice touch. If you're walking around a city or riding a bike, it's way more subtle to glance at your wrist than to pull your phone out like a lost tourist. As for music, here's the letdown. It only supports YouTube Music. So even though I have files downloaded through YouTube Music, I still primarily use Spotify. And the lack of Spotify or general media controls feels like a forced nudge into Google's ecosystem. That's a miss for me. Swiping down from the watch face gets you your quick settings, things like sleep mode, D&D, and wallet. Swiping up shows the classic Fitbit dashboard with your steps, calories, active minutes, all the My Day stats you'd expect. Now, stick with me, because one of the biggest questions I always get is about accuracy. Let's talk GPS. I took this thing out for a 12-mile bike ride, and the GPS performance was honestly impressive. The route it recorded was spot on. Anywhere the track looked a little off was because I literally stepped off the trail to take pictures. Compared to my Garmin Venue 3, which cost 3 times as much, the Fitbit Charge 6 was only off by 1%. That's solid. Same goes for heart rate tracking. I compared it to a Polar H10 chest strap during a steady-state ride. Nothing too intense. And the data was really close. For high-intensity intervals, Fitbit says the Charge 6 is 60% more accurate than previous models. I haven't stress-tested that myself, but for general use, it's accurate enough for almost anyone who isn't training for a triathlon. It also supports high and low heart rate alerts, plus irregular rhythm notifications. And of course, there's sleep tracking. Fitbit does a nice job of simplifying all that sleep data into something easy to digest. You'll even get a little sleep animal profile based on your patterns, which is kind of fun but also helpful if you want to improve your rest. You still get access to deeper data like SpO2, skin temperature, resting heart rate, VO2 max, and respiratory rate. All of it bundled into a more user-friendly summary. There are even hidden features you won't see in the interface, like auto workout detection. It can recognize when you're walking or running and retroactively track the entire workout, not just from the moment it notices. That's a small detail that makes a big difference in day-to-day use. It's water-resistant to 50 meters, too. Pool-safe and even saltwater safe. Just rinse it afterward. With no mechanical buttons or speaker grills, water resistance is one less thing to stress over. That said, not everything is perfect. The display is small, and that black space around the screen? Kinda chunky. If the full front was usable display, that would have been amazing. You can triple tap to zoom in if you have vision issues, which is helpful, but still. I wish Fitbit cleaned up those bezels a bit. Then there's no speaker or mic. This thing is begging for Google Assistant integration. Even basic voice responses would have taken the smart features to the next level. Haptics are here for alarms and notifications, but they're on the weak side. I found them easy to miss. And now for my biggest gripe, the price. It's not outrageous, especially considering what it offers. But the problem is the Fitbit Premium subscription. Out of the box, you'll get basic tracking and summaries. But if you want the full deep dive on your health and sleep metrics, you'll need to subscribe. It's kind of like paying for a gym membership after buying the home gym. A weird model that feels like an upsell. Other brands like Whoop charge for the data but give you the device for free. Fitbit flipped that, and I'm not a fan of that setup. Still, with all of that said, I really do like the Charge 6. Google's integration brings some much-needed updates like Maps and Wallet. The GPS and heart rate tracking are surprisingly accurate, and the overall experience is solid. It's not a perfect device, but it's one I'd easily recommend to most people, especially parents or anyone who just wants a reliable, health-focused band without going full smartwatch. But hey, I'm curious. What do you think about the Fitbit Charge 6? And more specifically, what are your thoughts on that Fitbit Premium paywall? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.